24 years later, September 11th, 2025. 24 years since the towers fell, hard to believe. That smoke still clings to memory like ash to the hems of our dreams. I was living on 24th and 3rd, New York, post-marriage, post-collapse, pre-awakening, a rabbi without a school, a soul without a shelter. The day began with my sister's voice. "Don't go to school," she said, and I, half awake, half dead inside already, stepped into the burning day. I saw buildings become dust. I saw people walk like ghosts in reverse, covered in the gray of everything that once was, skin flaking with disbelief, suits soaked in fear. The exits were sealed, the sky grounded, the air a funeral pyre. Not just plastic, not just steel. I smelled the burning of names. No one knew the numbers yet. Some said 50,000. All we knew was loss without scale. We gathered in Union Square, the first stop south on a city's cracked subway spine. That place, that moment, was the third temple I had always dreamed of. Not built of stone, but of grief. Descending not from heaven, but from us. Missing posters like psalms, candles like mitzvot, incense like breath. Muslims, Hindus, atheists, Jews, Christians, arm in arm with Sikhs and Buddhists, and kids with guitars. We argued, we chanted, we prayed sideways, we screamed, we climbed George Washington's statue and crowned him in daisies and doves. There was no leader, only voices. No agenda, only ache. And then we sang. Hours. Guitars bending time, voices like wind through the cracks. Love, 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 we said, until our throats were raw and still kept singing. And for one breathless moment, we weren't America, we weren't empire, we weren't separate. We were a single, shaking heart still pulsing through the soot. A phoenix seed of peace glimmering in the wreckage. But then, Bush came to town, and the cameras came with him, and the fear came too, and suddenly our chant was no longer useful. Suddenly they needed war, so they swept away our candles, tore down our altars, filed our grief into bureaucratic silence. Don't worry, they said, we'll put it in a museum. But museums don't hold voices. They don't hold drum beats or dreams. Then came the lies. Iraq, weapons that never were. Saddam for Osama. Profit for penance. The smoke rose again, this time from another country's bones. And we said never again, and we meant until next time. Then came Obama. A break, a breath, a blink. A maybe. A yes we can, tacked onto a blood-soaked doorpost. And then Trump. And then COVID. And now, again, the drumbeat of division, the war machines grinding, the mirror cracked down every state line. And now, 24 years later, I ask you, where is that park? Where is that temple of grief? Where is the third house we almost built in the ashes? Because that day, before they caged it, we touched something. Something beyond nation, beyond vengeance, beyond sides. We touched a we that scared them. We became dangerous with our tenderness, and so they did what empires do. Called us quaint, called us children, swept up the flowers and called it healing. But I remember. And maybe, if we sing again, if we gather again, if we grieve together again without permission, maybe the phoenix still waits. Maybe the temple still descends. Maybe the flame hasn't gone out, just moved underground to be born again when we are ready to bear the heat. So I ask you, are you ready? Are you ready to remember, to rebuild? Not what was, but what could have been, what still could be? Because the smoke still rises, the wounds still weep, but the song is not gone. It's just waiting for your voice to begin again.